FBI gave him a license to kill, and he became a killing machine.
Who was Greg Scarpa, known as the Mad Hatter or the Green Reaper, a Capo regime in the Colombo crime family, and killed over 100 people? Greg Scarpa Sr. was born on May 8, 1928, near Venice, Italy, and immigrated to the United States with his parents and brother Salvatore at a young age. The 1950s were a busy time for Scarpa. He married Connie Forrest and had 4 children, maintained a relationship with a girlfriend, Lena Skirrell, having 2 more children, and was introduced to the Colombo crime family by his brother Salvatore. Scarpa was successful as a gangster from very beginning, and it wasn't long before he became heavily involved in illegal gambling, home sharking, extortion, hijacking, murder, assault, theft, and narcotics trafficking. As a gangster, he wore stylish clothes and carried a large amount in his pocket for purchase and bribery. He owned apartments and homes in Manhattan, Florida, Brooklyn, and Las Vegas. As his power grew, his reputation for violence and murder grew as well, eventually earning his nickname the Grim Reaper. Cyril later said that Scarpa would sometimes leave the numbers 666 on the victim's pagers. In March 1962, law enforcement arrested Scarpa for armed robbery. If convicted, he would serve a lengthy prison sentence which would certainly cripple his growing empire. As a high-ranking member in the Colombo crime family, the FBI provided Scarpa with the chains of freedom, provided he was willing to give information to them from time to time regarding organized crime. He accepted and became an informant for the Federal Bureau of Investigation, a relationship that would last 30 years. In the summer of 1964, 3 Mississippi civil rights workers were reported missing as suspected being murdered by the Ku Klux Klan. According to Skirrell and other sources, the FBI was having trouble finding the graves and recruited Scarpa to help locate and find them. At the time, Scarpa was widely known as the aggressive mafioso, as a formidable interrogator. The FBI used Scarpa and his skills to kidnap a TV salesman and non-clansman named Lawrence Byrd, who was suspect of having information on the 3 workers. Scarpa and the FBI agents took Byrd to Camp Shelby, a local army base, where they severely beat him until he revealed the location of the civil rights workers' graves. The FBI never officially confirmed Skirrell's account of the story. Instead, investigative journalist Jerry Mitchell and another man claimed a Mississippi Highway patrolman named Marnett King provided the grave locations after receiving a tip from an anonymous third party. Scarpa was eventually dropped and as confidential informant by the FBI in January 1966, but the relationship was renewed in 1980 when FBI agent Lindley approached Scarpa and convinced them to cooperate again. The Vecchio and Scarpa had a tight relationship. It's say some involved numerous illegal dealings of cash, jewelry and gifts. In return, the Vecchio provided Scarpa with information about his enemies during the Third Colombo War and likely saved his life in the process. The two worked together for over 10 years, often meeting alone in apartments or hotels provided by the FBI, where they would exchange information. In such meeting, Scarpa, the Vecchio, hard to find cabbage patch doll for his daughter, just in time for Christmas. Scarpa was arrested in 1985 and charged with a running major credit card scam. He pled guilty and was awaiting sentence when the Vecchio submitted a memo to the judge that listed all of Scarpa's contributions to the FBI. Scarpa was eventually sentenced to 5 years probation with no prison time and $10,000 fine. He may have gotten off lightly. However, some of the Colombo soldiers were surprised at the leniency of the court and suspected Scarpa might have a relationship with the government. In 1991, the Colombo family was involved in a power struggle. One of the West Side Colombo boss, Carmine Persico, and the other acting boss, Victor Arena. During the war, Persico lawyers unsuccessfully attempted to murder Arena. Instead of retaliating against the highly protected Persico, Arena sent his men to murder Scarpa, who stones Persilio Ali. November 18, 1991, hitmen conferred on Scarpa's vehicle with guns wrong, but Scarpa managed to drive away before any shots were fired. Scarpa was infuriated and attempted on his life, and over the next several months traveled through Brooklyn looking for Arena's loyalists in social clubs and bars. At the end of the war, Arena supporters Rosario and Natasha Vincenzo Fusaro and James Malpiso were dead. Malpiso was gunned down while hanging Christmas lights on in his home. In 1992, Scarpa, who was in poor health after contracting the AIDS virus from tainted blood, was arrested for violating state firearms law and indicted on federal racketeering charges involving 3 murders. He was placed under house arrest awaiting the trial. On December 29, 1992, Lucchese crime family gangsters Michael De Rosa, Ronald Moran, threatened Scarpa Stefan Joey over a drug deal. Although he was in poor health, Scarpa climbed out of bed and drove with Joey to Rosa's house to confront the 2 men. Fearing for their lives as a gunfight erupted and De Rosa was shot twice in the chest. And Scarpa was shot once in the eye. After arriving at the hospital, prosecutors revoked Scarpa's house arrest and sent him to jail. On May 6, 1993, Scarpa pled guilty to 3 murders and conspiracy to commit murder and further held. In a blind one eye, he was sentenced to life in prison on December 15, 1993, but the sentence was reduced to 10 years due to his poor health. He died on June 4, 1994 in the Federal Medical Center for Prisoners in Rochester, Minnesota.